A lot of people don't understand this part of life. They think loneliness hits when you're struggling. They think you're alone when you're messing up, stagnant, or stuck in a rut. That's not the truth. When you're down on luck, you'll have all kinds of people around you. Family checking in, friends calling, folks pretending they care. Because as long as you're beneath them, you're safe to love, and I use that word loosely. You're safe to support. You're safe to be around. But the moment you start doing better, the moment you start leveling up, the moment you start becoming the version of yourself they never expected, that's when everybody disappears. Not because you changed, but because you stopped being small. Let me keep it real with you. When you're stagnant, when you're messing up, when you're lost, people love you. They love you because you're predictable. They love you because you're not a threat. They love you because your life makes them feel better about theirs. You ever notice how when someone gets released from incarceration, the whole family throws a welcome home party? Everybody's calling. Everybody's checking in. Everybody's showing love. But let that same person graduate college, start a business, land a good job, or finally get their life together. Suddenly, the phone stops ringing. Suddenly, the support dries up. Suddenly, the "we're proud of you" crowd goes silent. That's not coincidence, that's jealousy. People don't distance themselves because you changed. They distance themselves because you grew. They distance themselves because you're no longer the version of you that made them comfortable. They distance themselves because your progress exposes their stagnation. They distance themselves because your discipline highlights their laziness. They distance themselves because your healing makes their excuses look weak. And instead of leveling up with you, they'd rather step back and pretend you're the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's why so many people walk this road behind me alone. Not because they're unlovable, but because they outgrew the people who only loved them when they were broken. This is the part nobody talks about. When you start growing and your family or friends pull back, you start questioning yourself. You start wondering what you did wrong. You start calling people who don't call you. You make excuses within yourself that you are just trying to keep in touch with family. You feel what's happening deep down, but you ignore it. You start visiting people who don't even visit you. You start trying to stay connected to people who disconnected from you a long time ago, but you didn't get the memo. That's not loyalty. That's begging. And some of y'all don't want to hear that. If you're always the one reaching out, always the one checking in, always the one trying to keep the relationship alive, you're begging for love. And the worst part, they know it, they feel it, and they use it against you. Let me tell you something real. Some people don't check on you because they care. They check on you because they're checking the temperature. They want to know if you're still beneath them. They want to know if you're still struggling. They want to know if you're still the old you. They'll call you every now and then, but it's not out of love. It's out of curiosity. It's out of jealousy. It's out of insecurity. They're not checking on you as a person. They're checking your status. And if you don't learn how to control yourself, you'll keep letting people back into your life who only show up to see if you've fallen yet. Here's another truth people don't want to admit. When your family doesn't rock with you, when your friends fall back, when you're walking this road behind me alone, some people in your relationships will take advantage of that. They'll treat you like you're disposable because they think they're all you have. They'll talk to you crazy because they think you won't leave. Real talk. They'll disrespect you because they think you have nowhere else to go. That's why you have to stand on your own 2 feet. That's why you have to build yourself up. That's why you have to love yourself first. Because if you don't, people will treat you like you're desperate for a connection. A lot of people don't know how to love themselves. They think self-love is a quote or a vibe. No. Self-love is taking care of your mental health. Self-love is taking care of your physical. Self-love is buying yourself what you need. Self-love is taking yourself out to eat sometimes. Self-love is taking that vacation, even if it's small. Self-love is buying those outfits you've been putting off. Self-love is treating yourself like someone worth investing in. Because if you don't treat yourself like you matter, nobody else will. And if you don't value yourself, you'll keep chasing people who don't value you either. I'm saying, I know this is wild, but we gotta stop pretending and accept truth for what it is. Sometimes you'll meet a sweet thing who's really down for you. Someone who supports you, someone who sees you, someone who respects your growth, someone who doesn't get intimidated by your come up. And when you find that person, they can become your family. But even then, you have to be careful. People switch up. Circumstances change. Love changes. You can't pour your entire identity into one person. You can't make someone your whole world, because if they switch up, you'll lose yourself. Build with them, but don't disappear inside of them. Love them, but don't abandon yourself. During the holidays, you see this more clearly. Some people would break if they couldn't be with their family. They overspend, overextend, and over-appease just to keep people close during the holidays. They shrink themselves just to stay included. They pretend everything is fine just to avoid being alone. But let me tell you something. If people only value you when you're small, they don't value you at all. If people only want you around when you're struggling, they don't love you. They love the version of you that made them feel superior. And if you have to pretend to be accepted, you're not accepted. You're tolerated. So here's the truth. If people don't value you, disconnect. You know that vibe is there, so stop ignoring it. Not out of anger, out of self-respect. Stop begging for love. Stop chasing people who don't chase you. Stop calling people who don't call you. Stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Or as some would say, stop dimming your light. Stop letting people bring up your past just to keep you in your place, and you just let it ride. If they can't celebrate who you are today, they don't deserve access to you. Walk your road alone if you have to, because walking alone in peace is better than walking with people who secretly hope you fail. Stand on your own 2 feet. Love yourself, build yourself, and let the people who couldn't handle your growth watch from a distance. For some, this may be hard to do, but you got to start somewhere. Start practicing self-respect when you start to feel the chase. Then sooner or later, it becomes a habit. Share this with that person that you know goes through this, but is hesitant to take a stand. And if this sounds like your situation, then your change starts now. Don't let cognitive dissonance keep you stagnant.